Evening. I'd like to call the Tuesday, May 5th, 2015 City of Oldsmar City Council meeting to order. If you would please rise for our invocation and our pledge that will be led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Heavenly Father, we gathered today with members of our community with a shared belief that we must treat each other with dignity and respect. In this invocation, I don't ask you to bow your heads, but to look up at what you can accomplish by working together. I don't ask you to close your eyes, but to keep them wide open to the problems that we face as a city. With your talents and insight, you can lead this community to a better future. As you work together on behalf of all who live in the city, may you draw strength and encouragement from one another through compassion and reason. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and once again, welcome. To my right is not Bruce Haddock, our city manager. It's Al Braithwaite. He is filling in tonight. Bruce is out, taking care of some personal business. Our first item tonight is our Citizens Open Forum, where we allow you to address the City Council. We only have a couple of rules that you keep it to no more than 5 minutes. You state your name and address clearly for the record, and you are able to speak towards things that are on the agenda, but if it is a public hearing, which we do have 2 items, we ask that you hold those items until that item comes up on the agenda. Having said that, small crowd, anybody in the room like to address the council? Here. Sorry, Jason.
Jerry Antozzi, 509 Shore Drive East. I'd like to announce that the Oldsmar Historical Society Museum is a Blue Star Museum. And there's more than 2,000 museums across the United States that offer free admission to military personnel and their families this summer. And this is in collaboration with the National Endowment of the Arts, Blue Star Families, and the Department of Defense. So if you are in the military and you look for Blue Star museums, you can get in free anytime from Memorial Day to Labor Day 2015. So we were real proud to apply and be a member of the Blue Star Museum. And the second thing I'd like to mention is, if anyone that's listening or that's in the room that would like to learn more about the Oldsmar Historical Society Museum and how they can help, we have a volunteer orientation meeting Saturday, June 13th from 10 to 11 right here at 101 State Street West, right in the bank building here. And I'm announcing it now because I don't know how many times it's going to be advertised or viewed before June 13th, but please come out and visit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary.
Anybody else? Jason?
Jason Schwabe, 1119 Illinois Avenue. A few weeks back, I sent you guys a save the date invitation for June 6th for our Fire Ops 101 that we are holding. I just wanted to come tonight and give you a formal invitation. As you guys know, and just for everybody else that's here, it's just a program that offers public officials like yourself some firsthand experiences for some of the tasks that we deal with on a daily basis. So we would be honored and grateful if you guys could grace us with your presence on that day.
Is it 7 a.m. again?
It is early. We try and keep it during the cooler part of the day so we're not overheating you too much. So
Date again, Jay?
June 6th.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's awesome. When I went to the first one and I was driving across, I'm not a morning person, so I'm driving across the Bayside Bridge and I see the sun on that side and I'm like, oh my gosh, because it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's an awesome event.
Norris and Mr. Haddock have both attended about 5 years ago, so we'd love to have you back. I think you guys had a lot of fun. In fact, on the invitation, I have some pictures for you to look at of some of the fun that they had. So
Very cool.
it's okay. I'll just give it to Ann. She can pass them out.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
And I just wanted to mention it's not only the local union affiliates, but the fire chiefs are involved with the process as well. In fact, Chief O'Neill will be running one of the stations that you would be participating in. So Just
great.
another incentive for you to
For him to
come out
abuse
and join
us?
us.
Yeah,
Crash dummy.
Thanks,
yeah.
Jason.
As long as he doesn't make us do the stairs like he just did,
Jason,
right?
I haven't RSVP'd, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, I've got it on my schedule as long as the radio station doesn't conflict with it. I plan on being there, so.
Can I just mention one more thing?
No, sorry.
We have to come early to get suited, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you are gonna come, just let me or Chief O'Neill know about it, and we'll get you fitted for some gear. Get you to
Okay.
run through beforehand.
Kind of like a
so.
tuxedo fitting, right? We come and get sized early. Okay.
We did it. And Jerry Beaverland.
Anybody else in the room like to address? Yep. All right, Mike.
This is awesome.
Mike McKnight, 881 Edgehill Drive in Palm Harbor, but I'm here on behalf of Oldsmar Cares. Tonight, I wanted to remind everyone this Saturday is the annual Stamp Out Hunger food drive put on by the postal carriers. It's a nationwide drive, but in Oldsmar, the post office and the postal carriers will bring all the donations that are received to Oldsmar Cares. They actually deliver it in the postal trucks on Saturday. It's an awesome event. Last year we got over 10,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
And it's the biggest drive we have every year, so we would appreciate any donations. So if you're sitting at home, you're listening, we'd love to just go through your pantry and see if there's things that you don't want or you don't need. Don't even have to look at the expiration dates. We do all that. If it's expired, we'll handle it as well. No problems. We do have certain needs every year, like pasta and sauce, tuna fish, meats, peanut butter and jelly, stuff like that. All that'd be great, but anything you can donate is great. If you forget on Saturday, you hear that postal truck drive off, we'll be there anyway, so you can swing by with donations too, because we'll be handling it all day long. So, this Saturday.
Good.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Anybody else in the room like to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll close the citizens' open forum. Next is the mayor's minute. A couple of things to mention on there. Myself and I don't know if anybody else on council played, Al played in the annual city golf tournament at the Eagles, and it's well attended, well sponsored by a lot of our vendors, and it's one of the main fundraisers to help support children's summer programs. So thanks to all those that sponsored and attended. It was a great event and beautiful day, and we shot 6 under, but we lost to 15 under, so oh well, next year.
Scramble, huh?
Yeah, they scrambled better than we did. So I was honored to go with Lynn Reeves, the director of our leisure services, to a National League of Cities conference down in Fort Lauderdale. It's the National League of Cities paid for it, and working in conjunction with Let's Move Cities, Towns, and Countries to create healthier communities. And it was really interesting to see a lot of the different programs that a lot of the other municipalities have incorporated to be a healthier city, both from the cities and their rec departments. I was the only elected official down there, so that was kind of interesting. We Mean Business, very excited. We went last Friday. Small Cakes, which is a new, they do cupcakes and ice cream. They're opening in the Aldi Plaza. Got to meet them. They should be open soon. We went to McDonald's, which was great because kind of hearing the history of the people that are there, and that the president of Casper McDonald's actually started at that McDonald's in Oldsmar, as does the manager, when they were 17 or 18 years old, and they've been there for 18 years, and he's now the president of Casper. And they're excited to work with the city and the chamber on programs moving forward, so hats off to the Casper group. Got to meet the grandson of the Casper founder, so kind of an interesting story. I'll go ahead and tell it. An interesting story. The guy that founded McDonald's was an avid fisherman, and I think Mr. Casper, the grandfather, was an avid, no, he was the avid fisherman, and he used to make suits for the founder of McDonald's. And so he said, I want to move to Florida so I can fish. He goes, okay, I'll give you a franchise down there. And so that's where the Oldsmar franchise came from, and Casper, and it was directly from the founder of McDonald's, strictly because he wanted to be able to have a McDonald's that he could go get a burger at. He didn't care if it made money or not. As a matter of fact, I believe the father, the son of the grandfather, was a big gambler, and often the keys for the Oldsmar McDonald's would wind up in the pot because he was tired of dealing with it. He was tired of dealing with it, and so he said, "I'll just give it away." So it was interesting, but they're doing great now. So I got a little sidetracked there. And the other great thing that we went to Lockheed Martin, and I don't know if you've driven by there, but it's exciting. They are going to be the largest privately developed solar array field, I believe, in the state, if not the country. They hope to have the first batch online towards the end of May. It's about a $6 to $7 million project, and they're not exactly sure how much power they'll generate, but it is the largest, almost a 2 megawatt facility. So they're excited about that. They said the return on investment is about 6 years. So unless Duke Energy changes their peak rate that they charge them for the other power, but.
And not only that, return on investment, but how much of their power is going to be then generated by solar power after that?
Absolutely. Once well, Duke Energy will probably figure out a way to get involved with that. So I'm excited. We were all at the annual volunteer appreciation dinner at Tampa Bay Downs. That was great. Thanks to all of our volunteers. I think, we can't say it enough. Our little notepad that we give them and a chicken dinner is not enough thanks for everything that they do for the committee. So we did get an interesting comment, and I'll go ahead and share that with, I think her name is Rachel. Is that it? From the Tampa Bay Downs? Nicole. And she greets everybody and sets up the banquet. And she told the girls at the clerk's office that it's really great to work with the city of Oldsmar and this group because they treat her like a regular person instead of a door holder, and they're just really nice. And I think sometimes we take how great our city is and our volunteers and the people are for granted. So that's great. And Mike just mentioned Oldsmar Cares postal drive. Also, the only other thing is electronics and chemical mobility is coming Saturday, May 16th from 9 to 2. The North County Satellite Recycling will accept, and they are doing that at the North County Government Center just off Curlew Road. So if you have paint or electronics that you need to dispose of, like I do, you can go ahead and do that. So, and you can get more information on our website, myoldsmar.com. That was a little longer than a minute. That wraps up the mayor's minute or two. Next is the Community Redevelopment Agency, and that is to schedule a work session on Market Square. Al, do we have dates in mind for that?
May 26th would be the first one proposed, May 21st. I've heard from most of the council that both were acceptable, but we're open to whatever works for you guys.
May 21st is the preferred?
I think the 26th was the first one.
Oh, first?
The Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do the 21st. I have a conference at 4 o'clock, so I can do the 26th.
26? 26?
Yeah.
26 it is. Thanks.
Thank you.
Consent docket, a couple items. Approved minutes of the February 17th, 2015 City Council meeting. Approved minutes of the March 3rd, 2015 City Council meeting. Approved the purchase of bleachers for Canal Park on the Hillsborough School District contract. Number 5, authorize the city manager to advertise for bids for screw press for Water Reclamation Facility. Number 6, waive bid requirements and contract with Ajax Paving Industries of Florida LLC for paving of Mobbly Bayou Wilderness Preserve, North Access Road per the Oldsmar Trail Bid B13-04. And lastly, waive bid requirements and approve purchase of replacement vehicle utilizing the Florida Sheriff's Association contract pound 14-22-0904.
No hashtag?
No hashtag. Can't believe I said that last time. They actually said that on the news the other day. Remember when the pound sign used to be a pound sign and not a hashtag? So shows we're getting older. Does anybody wish to pull anything? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is the City of Oldsmar. I'm going to mix these up a little bit. Our first is going to be the National Day of Prayer, and that's going to be given to Whitney Stoutenmore, and I'm going to hand that to Mr. Saraki to read.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, Whitney, would you come up, please? Thank you. Nice to meet you. National Day of Prayer. Whereas Americans have turned to Almighty God in prayer since our nation's founding, and whereas throughout the history of our state and nation, we have humbly bowed in prayer for guidance and comfort where needed, and have given thanks for many blessings which God has graciously bestowed on this nation since its inception, and whereas prayer has comforted us in times of sorrow and given us strength and hope for the future. We ask God to keep his hand upon us and bless the city of Oldsmar
the great state of Florida, and the United States of America. And whereas we continue to give thanks for the men and women of the military who are defending our freedom. We humbly ask God for their protection and pray for peace throughout the world. And whereas the National Day of Prayer is a day set aside by Congress for all Americans to pray and reaffirm the spiritual principles upon which this nation was founded. And whereas this year is the 64th anniversary of the consecutive annual observance of the National Day of Prayer. And the theme this year is, Lord, hear our cry, which is based on the verse from the 1 Kings 8:2-8, which states, hear the cry and the prayer that your servant is praying in your presence this day. And whereas on May 7th, Americans will unite at specific times in prayer for our nation and state to acknowledge our dependence upon God, to give thanks to Him, to recognize our needs for personal and cooperative renewal, and invoke God's blessings upon our leaders and our families. Now, therefore, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim May 7th as National Day of Prayer in the City of Oldsmar, and encourage all citizens to give thanks according to his or her own faith for the freedom and the blessings we have received, and for God's continued guidance, comfort, and protection.
Yes.
Did you want to say?
Yes.
Sure. Yes, you do.
Sorry. Just real quickly, I wanted to just extend an invitation to everyone in the Oldsmar community to come out. That's going to be this Thursday, May the 7th at 6:30 p.m. on the front steps of City Hall. And hopefully it's going to be beautiful weather like it has been. And we just wanted to extend a special invitation to all the city council members. And Mayor Beavis and Gabby came out last year. We loved it. It was great. And we'll have Craig and Tony Gross coming, pray over the military. And it's just a great time. It's a time for the community just to come together, different denominations, different backgrounds, just leaders from around the city. And we just come together and pray for our leaders. And I know that they do appreciate that. So thank you so much. It's this Thursday, 6:30. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Ready to make a picture?
Photo op.
Focus?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Our next item is the presentation of a proclamation for Public Works Week, and I'm going to ask Councilmember Seidel to read that for Lisa Ray from the city. You can do it from up here or down there. Well, I'd move it. Oh, I should have forewarned you.
That's why, yeah, don't typically like that. I'll read it from up there. Would you like me to come up there? No.
She loves the attention.
Of course, I can't see walking. Just hold up. National Public Works Week, whereas public works service provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operations of public works system and programs such as water, sewer, streets, the highways, public buildings, and solid waste collection, and whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on the facilities and services, and whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, are vitally dependent upon the efforts and skills of public works officials. And whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. And whereas this year's theme is Community Begins Here, as we celebrate the hard work and dedication of the many public works professionals throughout the world. Therefore, I For Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2015, as National Public Works Week in the City of Oldsmar, and call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize their contributions which public works officials make every day in our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Dated May 5th, 2015. Standing in for Mayor Doug Beavis.
Is it working? Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how much work goes into running public works, and we couldn't do it without our dedicated staff. They respond to emergencies at all hours of the night, and they do a great job, and they make it seamless. So most of you don't realize it's like magic. You turn on your faucet every day, water comes out, you flush your toilet, it goes away. So, which is the way it should be. And so we're very proud of our staff, and not just our staff, but all public works employees throughout the country. We have a really good, safe water system in our country that a lot of other countries don't have.
Yep, very good. Thank you.
Set this back down.
Thanks. Congratulations. Next is the presentation of the proclamation of National Travel and Tourism. And we have some guests with us tonight, and receiving for the City of Oldsmar is going to be Deb Pauley. Brandy Hastings, the Regional Partnership Manager with Visit Florida, is with us tonight. David Downing, the Executive Director of Visit St. Pete Clearwater, is with us tonight. Kevin Smith, the Sports Commissioner from St. Pete Clearwater Sports Commission, not with us tonight, or in traffic is Tony Armour, Film Commissioner, St. Pete Clearwater Film Commission, and also a representative of Florida Senator Jack Latvalla's office, Courtney Vandenberg, a legislative assistant who we had invited.
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was looking for them all over here. Okay, she is here. Good. I'll go ahead and read it from up here because I don't need glasses, but I do need the light. So, National Travel and Tourism Week. Whereas travel had a positive effect on the state of Florida in 2014, with a record year for tourism as nearly 100 million people visited the Sunshine State, impacting economic prosperity, business productivity, and Florida's image abroad. And whereas the City of Oldsmar continues to promote ecotourism with projects such as the 10-mile Oldsmar trail system, Blue Ways trail markers, placements, outdoor environmental education centers, and Drive Electric Tampa Bay. And whereas Pinellas County, which officially set a new bed tax record for FY 2013-2014 by collecting more than $35 million, continues as a high-impact tourism county, with the hospitality industry showing continuous economic growth and serving as a top local employer for job creation. And whereas travel is among the largest private sector employers in the United States, supporting 15 million jobs in 2014, including 8 million directly in the travel industry and 7 million in other industries. And whereas the City of Oldsmar is an official partner with Visit Florida and Visit St. Pete Clearwater, including the Sports and Film Commission, all who continue to promote and spotlight our city for its unique hospitality, facilities, events, national hotels, and diverse dining. And whereas travelers spending directly generated tax revenues of $141.5 billion for federal, state, and local governments funding, funds used to support essential services and programs. And whereas the City of Oldsmar hosts the Gator Nationals, one of the 4 cities in the United States selected by USA BMX for their inaugural North American Supercross Series, establishing a unique Supercross destination to provide Olympic athletes, riders, and spectators a world-class experience with the new facility, with the new Oldsmar BMX Supercross facility. And whereas leisure travel, which accounts for more than 3/4 of all trips taken in the United States, spurs countless benefits to travelers, health and wellness, creativity, cultural awareness, education, happiness, productivity, and relationships. Now therefore, I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of May 2nd through 10th, 2015 as National Travel and Tourism Week in the City of Oldsmar, and urge all residents to join me in this special observance by eco-exploring our many parks and trails, attending a sports or historical event, recommending hotels and restaurants to guests and friends, and letting the world know that Oldsmar, Pinellas County, and the state of Florida are wonderful places to live, work, play, and stay. Dated this 5th day of May, 2015, Doug Beavis, Mayor, and I'd like everybody to come up because we have copies for you. Oh, I should have brought my selfie stick. I don't know who wants to speak, or anybody to speak for. Okay.
First of all, thank you very much. I don't know if this is on. There we go.
Okay.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for having me. I am David Downing, the Director of Tourism for Pinellas County. We're very happy to be here this evening for lots of reasons. Number one, what a beautiful space. This is nicer than the county offices that we report to. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on everything that you're doing up here. The city looks fantastic. You guys are kicking it along with the rest of Pinellas County. She said earlier, you know, tourism. Tourists pay for tourism. We don't. I like that. Being a Pinellas County resident myself, I'm glad that we use the monies from the people who come here to visit, wisely reinvest it back in the community, reinvest it into marketing the destination inside the state, inside the region, domestically and internationally. On that last note real quick, because we have bed tax, we're able to grow this destination. We have coming in September, 5 times a week, direct flights from from Frankfurt on Lufthansa. We have 3 flights now coming in from Zurich on Edelweiss Air. We have direct nonstop service to Seattle now coming to the destination. All of these things, and things even greater, are here because of our visitors. They pay for those things that we all experience every day, all the time. So in recognition of Travel and Tourism Week, I'm very happy that we're doing this today. I'm on the board of U.S. Travel. In fact, I'm going to Washington next week to have our quarterly meeting. We are hosting the U.S. Travel Summer Board meeting this summer here in Pinellas County for the first time ever. So we're excited. I'm excited. I'm honored that you asked us to come for the proclamation today, and I thank you. And I say, keep it going up here at the top of the bay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
We'll be happy to give you guys a tour of Oldsmar when you come for the board meeting.
Some T-shirts for everyone, and some books over here. So I'll let Deb take care of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, you should be in it, Deb.
I can't promise what it'll look like. We've established that I can't see tonight. So.
Put her in the middle, that way she's at least in it, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting fancy now. He's overconfident.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And your meetings are more fun too.
See nothing yet, David.
We do tend to have a little fun. We have a light agenda tonight because our city manager is out. So, but we do want to thank you for coming and enjoying our city. And we look forward to the BMX track opening. Hopefully in August, we'll have it done in the Gator Nationals later on in the year. So that's going to be exciting. Next item is presentation from the Fire and EMS Chief of Hurricane Preparedness, Chief O'Neill. We do actually have business that we get to tonight. You want Eric's glasses?
They were bigger today when I practiced.
You know what? I don't feel so bad.
Oh, goodness.
That's why I'm not starting IVs anymore. Council Mayor, Dean O'Neill, Fire and EMS Chief. It's that time of year where you get ready to start ramping up for hurricane season. I want to spend just a couple of minutes to give you a little bit of a briefing of what's going on in the city. As you can see from the graphic there, we partner with several different communities and several different agencies to make sure we have a successful planning event each year. You'll see Pinellas County, the City of Oldsmar Fire Rescue, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and TECO. I have those graphics up there because those are the people who make up our initial group when we have task force and strike teams, when we actually have to respond to emergencies. Just a quick sequence of events. If you're not familiar with the way these things work, we have an approaching weather system of some type, and the Response Operating Coordinating Group gets together. That's a group made up of local law enforcement, police, fire, and EMS agencies from all over the county, also from city government and nonprofits, and they are responsible for coming up with a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioner for things such as evacuations, those type of protective measures and stuff. So the Response Operation Coordinating Group gets together at the new EOC in Largo, and then we make a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners. The Board of County Commissioners then issues a declaration of emergency, which activates a county EOC. It also activates the city EOC, which is located at the fire station. And then the City Emergency Operations Plan is activated. All of us with the city, today I'm the fire chief. When that happens, I'm the planning chief. Al's going to be our finance chief. Lisa's in charge of operations. Lynn Rees is in charge of logistics. So we have a pretty robust group of folks who've had some practice with this. And we will be doing some training for it this year. This year, the exercise is going to focus on a couple of different things. We're going to update and exercise our evacuation plan. On May 21st, during that week, the county is doing its it's doing its hurricane exercise, and we're going to actually do a hands-on, door-to-door walking evacuation plan. The city at the most or the highest level of evacuations is level C, which we'd evacuate the entire city. We have done that once before, and we can do it in about 4 hours. And we do that by knocking on every single residence in the city. We have it broken down to about 33 different tasks. And this year, since we've not exercised this plan in a while and haven't had to, we're going to actually, on May 19th, going to actually go out with our public works folks, leisure services, fire rescue. All of us, when we get ready for an evacuation, that's the first thing we do. So we're going to actually go out and test that plan this May. Our damage assessment group is meeting. We have some new ways of reporting damage assessment to the county. They've been working with us with helping us with a little bit of technology. The importance of us getting a quick, rapid preliminary damage assessment total to the county helps them get that information to the state, who gets it to the federal level so we can have a disaster declaration. Lieutenant Jason Schwabe is in charge of our search and rescue group. That's a task force made up of Public Works, TECO, and fire rescue personnel. He'll be doing its annual training with them as well this year. And finally, on the 21st, we're going to have our EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, stood up and activated, where all of our department heads who serve as operation, planning, finance, logistics, section chiefs, as well as our command staff, which is the city manager, Marie Dauphiné, who's our liaison, and who is our PIO, and our safety officer will get together, and we're going to actually do a drill with the county through Web EOC, which is a new communications tool that we have with the county EOC that allows us to send and receive information. So we'll be doing that on the 21st. On the website for disaster preparedness on the city website, there's 4 pretty valuable sections in there. One is Code Red, which allows communities and residents to sign up for information that can be pushed out to them from the city. Also, some special needs information. We have an X number of folks in town who are special needs. They require a little bit of extra help when it gets ready for evacuation. Lieutenant Aaron Gonzalez is our special needs coordinator, and he meets with these people face-to-face each year to make sure they're ready. 2 other things which we have as links from the Pinellas County website is Know Your Zone, which you can actually go on and see what evacuation zone you're on. I will tell you that everybody here is in at least A, B, or C. After that, we're all gone. And then there's also a storm surge predictor, which is new this year, and I'm going to give you a demonstration of that here in just a second. There's the website for the disaster preparedness and the 4 links that I just mentioned right there. Now, do you have any questions related to hurricane preparedness?
Not really. I mean, kind of a question. The bullet items, the 2015 focus, how is that derived? Is that something that you
That's
personally do?
actually something I wanted to do.
Okay. I didn't know if that was dictated by the state or the county, or is it something that you feel that needs to be worked on or
It's something with the buildings that we have and new streets and new residents, we want to make sure that our operations group, which Lisa Ray and Jeff Clark, are going to be adding those streets that were not in the evacuation tasks before. So we thought, it's been 11 years now since we've done an evacuation, so we have a lot of new folks with Public Works and Leisure Services and Fire Rescue. That'd be a good time to exercise a plan. I also chose damage assessment because of some of the new things that's coming out with the county and us being able to interface with Web EOC.
And is there a method to grading it? Who grades it, or who determines if it was successful or not?
Really we do. There's an old saying that President Eisenhower said. He goes, plans are nothing, planning is everything. And we can have the best plan in the world, but fortunately we have a group of people here that when something happens during a plan, we punt and we're successful with it. Okay. So we want to go out and test it now, get the kinks out of it, and the more we plan for it, I won't finish that.
Yep. Okay, I was just curious how it all comes together.
Okay. See if we can make this happen.
We have faith.
Well,
you're not going to flood the room or anything, are you?
No, well, there wasn't that much water this morning when we did this. I just don't see the water.
Good thing we're sitting up high.
Down in the bottom right, you see it?
Oh, there we are, thank you.
By Tico? Yep, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Knock this in here. We have a couple of websites up there. I want to show you something real quick. Okay, that's our main link for disasters. And on that page, you can also find a map of Pinellas County. And at the top of the page, you can actually put your address in. And what that address will do will lead you to the, not only know your zone, but it'll also take you to the storm surge predictor. And I wanted to show you this because it's pretty, we think about storm surge coming in and what would a storm surge do.
I don't know if I want to see this.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, this is a new tool that the county has, so all the graphics are not really correct. I actually have City Hall's address in there, and it brings it up saying it's in, it's a level C evacuation, but it shows a picture of a house, but that's fine. But right now, it's just listed on level A. At level C, with a 6-foot storm surge, there'll be 3 feet of water in City Hall. That means everybody south of here to the bay is going to have 3 to 6 feet of water in their house as well. Cars float at 2 feet of water. Oldsmar is just not in a good position. It's one of those things where if it's going to happen, it's going to be devastating to us. The other thing I want to show you up here is I can actually show you what the neighborhood will look like.
That's not good.
Yeah, the yellow is 3 to 6 feet of water. The darker colors are 9 feet of water. Wow. The entire city will be underwater with a 16-foot storm surge from a hurricane. Now, our worst case scenario is if a hurricane hits north of Tampa Bay at high tide and pushes water up the bay. It's a shallow water estuary, we know that. The importance of this, and what we're trying to hammer home on this, is you have to have a plan. Everybody has to have a plan for themselves and their family. We work in May of each year working with all the city employees to let them know what happens if they do have to come back to work, that they need to have a plan for their family and get ready to come back. In case we do have a level C evacuation, a group of us will be evacuating to our secondary EOC and then wait it out. Any other questions?
So if we put in our address, we can kind of do the same thing and see
You
what
can.
Okay.
You can. And if you go to the city website, under disaster preparedness, you'll see hurricane links, and under the hurricane links, this is where you'll find it. I checked everybody's address. I didn't want to put your address up there, and I could zoom out from here, and I live up in Eastlake. My house is underwater too from the same event.
So we can't come to your house.
So you're not coming to my house. I won't be there.
My house will be completely
You come over to my house and go swimming in the bedroom.
That's it.
On the top of the roof.
If you don't have any other questions, that's it.
No, thank you. That's interesting. Hopefully we can get that information out. Nice. Thank you. That's it for the City of Oldsmar. Next is our city attorney. We have 2 items.
Yes, I have two ordinances to read for you tonight. The first one, although it's marked as a Snyder hearing, it's not. The second one is a Snyder hearing. Maria is here, but I'm going to go ahead and read the first ordinance by title only. This is ordinance 2015-01, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city by amending the land use designation on that certain real property described as the southern 50 feet of 736 Shore Drive East, Oldsmar, Florida, parcel number 26 28 16 00 000 440 0100, containing approximately 0.36 acres MOL, as further described in Exhibit A, from the county land use designation of residential estate to the city land use designation of residential estate, and providing for an effective date. That was the first reading of ordinance 2015-01 by title only.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody from the public wish to address this? Seeing no one, we close the public hearing. Does staff need to?
I just thought that we would go ahead and have Marie maybe just give us a little bit of information on what we're doing here on both of these ordinances. When we can go ahead and swear her in, so you only hear the information once if you'd like to do that, since there's no one.
That'd be fine.
You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Marie, if you could tell us who you are and what this is about.
Marie Daphne, Planning and Redevelopment Director. As the city attorney said, this is the southern portion of 736 Shore Drive East. The northern 20 feet of this property was already in the city, I guess before 2015, and we annexed this southern 50 feet of 736 earlier this year. So part of the lot is R1, residential single family with the residential estate land use, and a portion of the lot, the southern portion that we're talking about, is R4, residential 1, 2, and 3 family residential estate. It's got a county designation. So we want to make this consistent because we annexed this property in, and that's the reason for the land use amendment. So staff is recommending approval of the land use amendment from residential estate, county designation of residential estate, to City of Oldsmar land use designation of residential estate. It was reviewed against the standards of Section 3.14.4 of the Land Development Code, and based on that review, staff is recommending approval. And the Planning Board concurred with staff's recommendation. So I'd like to enter the staff report into the record.
Thank you. And again, I kind of got out of order. This is a public hearing. I don't believe anybody wants to address the council, but if they do, show a hand. If not, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Any other input from staff?
For the rezoning request from the county designation of R4, 1, 2, and 3 family to city designation of R1, residential single family district, the southern portion of 736 Shore Drive East, it was reviewed against the conditions in 3.15.3 of the Land Development Code, and based on that review, staff is recommending approval. The Planning Board concurred with staff's recommendation, and I would like to enter the staff report into the record.
Thank you. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion from council? Seeing no discussion, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Seidel?
Yes.
Councilmember Zaraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McKee?
Yes.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2015-01, amending the land use from county residential estate to city residential estate at 736 Shore Drive East, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Next item on the agenda is the zoning ordinance. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2015-02, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, rezoning certain real property described as the southern 50 feet of 736 Shore Drive East, Oldsmar, Florida, parcel number 26 28 16 00 000 440 0100, containing approximately 0.36 acres MOL, as further described in Exhibit A, from the county zoning designation of R4, 1, 2, and 3 family residential district to the city zoning designation of R1 single family district, providing for the effective date. That was a reading of ordinance 2015-02 by title only.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. I don't know that the applicant is here. Does anybody wish to address this item? Staff, would you like to add any more? Thank you. Seeing no public input, we'll go ahead and close that. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion from council? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Councilmember Seidel?
Yes.
Councilmember Zaraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McKee?
Yes.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I
First
have.
reading of ordinance 2015-02, rezoning a portion of 736 Shore Drive East from county residential 2 and 3 family R-4 to city residential single family R-1 is passed with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. I have nothing else.
Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 14 is adopt resolution 2015-12, adopting the 5-year update to the Local Mitigation Strategy, or known as LMS. Marie gave us a nice cover memo, so she's here to bail me out, but I want to give a tiny bit of background before I read the resolution in title only. The Local Mitigation Strategy is a plan that serves as a bridge between local government's comprehensive growth management plans, the County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan, land development regulations, and relevant ordinances and codes, such as those for floodplain management. This strategy integrates mitigation initiatives established through various policies, programs, and regulations into a single standalone working document. FEMA requires local jurisdictions to perform an update of their LMS every 5 years. The Pinellas LMS Working Group, of which we are a member, began the efforts to update the LMS in 2014 with the assistance of the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council. The completed draft was sent to the Florida Department of Emergency Management for review and comment in November 2014. Comments were received and the working group updated the draft. In March 2015, the revised LMS was forwarded to DEM and approved pending adoption by local governments in Pinellas County. Each Pinellas County municipality must adopt a resolution for transmittal to the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners recommending their adoption of the 2015 LMS. Once all of the local community and county resolutions have been adopted, they will be transmitted to the FEMA and the LMS will be officially approved. Staff recommends adoption of the resolution 2015-12, which is the 2015 Pinellas County Local Mitigation Strategy. The resolution reads, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, recommending adoption of the 2015 Pinellas County Local Mitigation Strategy by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners, designating this local mitigation strategy as the City of Oldsmar's floodplain management plan, thereby qualifying for credit under the National Flood Insurance Program's NFIP Community Rating System, also known as CRS program, and providing for an effective date hereof. Mayor, that concludes the reading of Resolution 2015-12.
Thank you so much. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Just the one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This will be coming back to you in August. We're going to give you an update, a status update of the update to the 2015 LMS, because we have certain initiatives in there. And as Chief O'Neill said, that there's goals, strategies, et cetera. So we're going to tell you specifically for Oldsmar what we've been doing. So that's a requirement for the CRS.
Oh, cool. Thank you. And that'll be when?
August.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I had, sir.
Thank you. City Clerk?
I don't have anything.
Thank you. City Council, first item, schedule work session on capital improvement program. And do we have dates for that as well?
Date options would appear to be Tuesday, June 9th or Thursday, June 11th, pending your schedules.
I was fine with either.
I'm fine with either.
Anybody have a conflict?
Nope, I'm good, both.
Councilmember Sidell, any conflicts?
Not on the 9th.
Let me double check mine. I didn't have my iPad with me today.
My birthday's the 10th, so I'm good with the 9th or the 11th.
Oh, I'm glad you
Stand
said
by.
that. Write that in my notebook.
I'm fine with either. I'd prefer the 9th, so we stay on our Tuesday schedule, if that's okay with
I'm good
everybody.
with that.
Ninth is good.
Good. 9th it is.
It is, thank you.
Thank you. Next is comments by council members, and we'll start with Councilmember Norris.
Okay, I got a couple things. First, I did go to USF to award the commissions to the 2 students that we chose to do our art in public places. And they had me facilitate the entire class, 2 hours and 45 minutes. And those of y'all that know me, I wouldn't run out of things to say in 3 hours, so it wasn't that hard. The beginning of the class, I got to give them all the feedback to the winners. And then the rest of the class, and then we gave them their certificates and their little goodie bags and everything. And then the rest of the class was spent going over each individual presentation and giving them the feedback that y'all gave and that we had for them in order for them to possibly research more in the future, do a better presentation to a different city, what worked, what didn't work, what we liked, what we might do in the future, blah, blah, blah. And so that was the the balance of the class. Dr. Wallace was there, and he is looking into it, but it might be that this is the very first ever paid commission between a city and an art class at USF.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yep. That's great. All the students were telling me how they're approached all the time to do things for free. They get emails, they just think that they're just free labor because they're in school. And so they were very, very excited about it. And I posted it up on Facebook if anybody's interested. But we have a meeting set up with Bruce and myself and Sierra and Anthony to go over the next step, because everyone wants a model of the concrete flowers and the leaf benches. And then after that, things are going to start rolling.
Good.
Both of them know that we want to have it done by the centennial. Thank you, Dan. And that's not going to be a problem at all. So that was very exciting for all of us involved. So.
What was the reaction, or was there, by the ones that didn't get selected? Because we've tried to be very sensitive to, the effort that they put in.
The good news is that they kind of collaboratively worked a lot on the research, and they gave each other ideas, and one of them even was almost kind of not glad, but she wouldn't have had time if she were chosen. And the other ones, a lot of them that are going to be in town want to help. So the whole class is kind of going to be involved. And I had asked Bruce if there was any way, or maybe Mary, we can come up with some way that once the project is completed, we can have something in that park that says that this class did it, especially if it's history, especially if it's the first one ever between a city and an art class.
I don't see that to be a problem. I mean, it really kind of depends on the layout, because if we do multiple of the leaf chairs or grass chairs, you can't put them, but we can figure something out, certainly, to acknowledge them. Yeah.
But it was awesome, and I did post up on that one particular picture that it was my most fulfilling day in 5 years. Over 5 years of being on the council, it was just so fulfilling for me to do that, and so it's going to be exciting. So that's one thing. Another thing is I read this article today in our email on the water. Okay, so everybody's got to look this up. Okay, today's Tampa Tribune. An article called "Wastewater Storage Could Improve Water Quality in Tampa Bay," written by Keith Morelli, and he interviewed our lovely and talented Lisa Ray, Director of Public Works. And this article is awesome, okay? The one thing that really hit me, not only was it telling everyone how we can have a cleaner bay based on what we do as a city. So whoever was on the council back in the 90s, I don't know if you were, Eric, were you on? Well, then you're partially responsible.
Not on wastewater. I was water.
Okay, so yeah, the water plant. So Tampa is just now going to do some ASR wells. They're not even going to be able to test them for 18 months. And the city of Oldsmar is really cutting edge and leading in that area. 7% of the nation's wastewater is reused. The nation's average is 7%. The state of Florida is 30%. So we lead the nation in Florida. The city of Oldsmar is 70%. And if that's not something to be proud of, that is something to really be proud of. So y'all do this Keith Morelli and read his article, because there's a lot of really good information in it, a lot of it. So that, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
And I do have a correction. Last council meeting, I wished a happy belated birthday to Jerry Beaverland. It was the next week, so, so I was like, Jerry, if you do watch it,
he probably doesn't even remember.
I thought your birthday was yesterday, but so happy belated birthday now that I saw him. So anyway, just wanted to correct that little tidbit. Oh, and prayers to Rita.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
And happy birthday to Rita.
Yes.
Oh, today is her birthday.
That's right. Good job.
I know, I had to call that one out. And then are we all going to the ethics course on May 20th?
I am.
Okay. Is everybody?
No, Dan did it already. He was first in class.
Done.
You show off.
Bingo.
I'm not sure. I may, on my comments, ask for an excuse on the day before, because I have a meeting in Canada that I'm trying to change. But.
Oh.
And then do we have the Florida League of Cities this summer too?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have a date yet?
September.
Oh, I thought it was the end
It's
of
always
August.
August.
Kathy's got all the information, so.
Okay, I just want to make sure I put that on my
Yeah,
calendar.
it's in Orlando.
Okay, well, that's all I had.
Thank you. Councilmember Seidel.
Got a couple of things. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. one item is that I'm going to ask that the council potentially excuse my absence on the 19th. Not at the moment, but when that time comes. As I said, I have a work event that's popped up that I tried to, you know how you always try to massage them around the Tuesdays, but unfortunately, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that with this one.
Will that affect your ethics training on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Good luck to you on getting that done then.
I'll get it done. I'll go somewhere.
I don't know where it's at. What are the other options?
No, it's only that
state.
one, it's in St. Pete.
Yeah, there's another one you got to
Different city you'll have to go to.
I saw one in Borough.
throughout the state. Yeah, that's right. Good excuse to go to the Keys or something.
If they have it in Key West, that's awesome. I definitely won't be there then. No. I know you and I briefly discussed this as it related to the Little League. One of the members of the Little League reached out to myself and asked if it was possible that they could do a short workshop with the council. And I think the intent is to show us some of the other agreements that the other cities are doing with Little League. I certainly am willing to do that, but I thought I would mention it. And
I know, I mean, personally, we've talked, I mean, in the past, I've tried to set up meetings with both Oldsmar Little League, the USSSA, the parties involved, the district person for Little League, and we haven't been able to do that. I'm more than willing to. Obviously, I think Thursday we have our workshop. I think it will be after, we should have more information, hopefully, to potentially share. So,
sure.
Can we ask Bruce to?
Will do.
Set that.
I'm just repeating the words. I did have something for Tom that I wanted to ask him, and I just want clarification. I'm going to assume that the appropriate time when, as a council person, we want something added to the agenda would be at the point in which we're discussing the tentative agenda. Would it be that it would be something that we would propose? I know we vote on the tentative agenda. I would assume that that would be adequate if there's something a council person wants. I did not specifically see it.
You have a provision in your rules of procedure, and I'll just read it. It's a couple of sentences long. It's titled Agendas, and it says, "The city manager / city clerk shall prepare the tentative agenda for the regular council meetings. The tentative agenda shall be subject to the approval of the council at the preceding regular meeting. The city manager shall finalize the approved tentative agenda no later than 4 p.m. on the Thursday preceding the regular meeting. Any additions to the approved tentative agenda should be made prior to that time. The city clerk shall prepare and deliver the packets on Friday preceding the regular meeting." That's the only thing that you have in your rules of procedure that talk about that.
And the only thing that I know that we've done in the past, and you probably know, is that when it's an agenda item that's on here and we feel further actions needed, we ask that that be added to it, but your particular request is something that was not an
just
agenda.
purely, frankly, kind of a miscommunications. But more from a housekeeping standpoint, I would assume if we're voting on the agenda, we have the right to amend it. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so then if there's something that, let's say in the unlikely event that the city manager doesn't agree with something that someone wants from council, we certainly have the ability to amend it at the point at which it's being presented and the other council members vote.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
All right, it's just housekeeping, but I just thought I would mention it. Other than that, what a great article for the city. I was so happy when I was, I felt guilty.
Why?
Because as long as I've been in the city, I had no clue what a leadership role that we've taken in that, not discharging all that treated wastewater into the bay. And that's significant, 70%. I mean, that to me, I was so impressed. I was like, I'm putting it up on my Facebook and all that just because I think our citizens should realize what great extent as a city and, our leadership within the city has gone to try to take care of our environment. And so anyhow, kudos.
And how forward-thinking they were in the 90s, Bruce and the
Right.
staff and the council
Absolutely.
at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Saraki?
Yes. Lisa, last week you were a mess about that article. You were a mess. When I talked to you, it's fantastic. I love it. Thank you for all your hard work. Really, thank you. My wife and I went to the organic garden the new concrete trail. Gabby, have you seen it? The new walkway? It's fantastic. Thank you, Lynn Rees and Leisure Services. That is absolutely awesome. It's definitely gonna help the people who need to walk, not on that rickety old dirt. It's great. It's awesome. And I want to share a little story. Thank you, Mayor Doug, for letting me do that proclamation. I went to Catholic school my entire life. At grammar school, there were 4 boys, 2 Daves and 2 Dans, and 16 girls. My aunt was a Catholic nun her entire life, so I really appreciate you letting me do that. It meant a lot to me. I was also an altar boy for 9 years. I finally decided to end it when I was a junior in high school, and my mother cried. Glad that's over, but again, that's what I wanted to thank you for letting me do that. I appreciate that very much, and that's all I have, and happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
yeah, there you
that's
go.
right.
Sink full of mayo, yep. I don't have a bunch. Do want to make a couple announcements. I don't know I kind of do, but I don't want to spoil it for them. A couple of ribbon cuttings that we're excited about coming up in this month. The Tim Drum Restaurant is going to be opening in Bay Arbor Plaza, where Rumba and Salt Rock Grill are. Thornton's will be doing a ribbon cutting sometime this month, and we're excited about that for multiple reasons. One, that Thornton's will be open, and two, that the commercial properties behind them will finally get their lives back together.
Do you have dates on those, Mayor?
I do. I don't want to publicly announce
okay.
it. I don't want to take the thunder
gotcha.
away from them, but we can get you those, or the clerk's office can. And Hayes Park, I went and, if you haven't had a chance to go over there, it's nice. The models are open. I didn't realize it's a joint venture between, is it F Street Homes? I don't know, F Street Homes. And with John Buse, and they're both doing about half the project, and so we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting for them sometime this coming month, and we'll get the information out to the council so that if they can attend, that would be great that they could do that. The only other items I have is I'm really excited. I know Ruben's here, and the paving is exciting. I know that Janice was a big advocate of paving the Mobbly Bayou Preserve Road because it rattled her teeth out every time she drove back there. And we did move that up a year on the agenda, and so I'm excited about that, excited for Janice, that we're able to carry that forward for her. We made our promise to Janice and to you, Ruben, that we would try and take care of the wishes that she had for the city and the things that were important to her. Let's see, do I have anything else? That's about all I have. I have a mayor's council meeting tomorrow, so those are exciting, where we meet with the other elected mayors in the city or in the Pinellas County, and the majority of them show up, and it's a great networking event, and we share ideas, and usually have a keynote speaker. I'm going to talk to Tom about something that I'd like to see if I can do, but I'll do that after the meeting. Tentative agenda, did you want to amend it? Or do you want to hold for now?
I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion to approve the tentative agenda? I just wanted it, I didn't, just double check it. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy